Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's a preview of Saturday night's kickoff between Leicester City and West Ham United, two teams who have lost their last two games in a row, and we're here to discuss which one will be picking up the points on Saturday. It's unlikely to be a draw as Leicester so far have not drew a game this season, and West Ham have only drawn once. So, which side will pick up 3 points? Let's discuss it. Gonzo, starting with the home side, Leicester. What's your thoughts on them?
Excellent team. Not a lot between us and them in terms of centre-backs. Fullbacks, and Chilwell is decent, but in Pereira, I think they've got the second best attacking fullback in the league. Very, very good player. Maddison, they've obviously picked up very good player. I can't remember the geezer's name in central midfield, the stop at a ball winner. He's good as well. They've got pace and trickery on the flanks, Damari Gray I really like, and they've got goal scorers up front. So they have got a very, very well-balanced team. They've got square pegs in square holes.
And Charlie, what about yourself? What's your thoughts on the Foxes?
Yeah, I think balanced is a good way of putting it. They've built after that Premier League win, it would have been easy for them to just go mad and just try and buy like ridiculous players, but they didn't. They seem to have been relatively conservative, and although that means they were never going to get near a title or anything near top 4 ever again, basically, they have looked like they've built themselves a very, very solid foundation to be pushing for European places, along with Everton and hopefully us in the future. But they've done it very, very well, and Gonzo's picked out some of those good players. And you look at even someone like they bought in for a lot of money, like Iniacho. He might not look great all the time, but when he does, he looks very, very good. And so they've got a good base and can really damage teams on their day.
And Charlie, what's a good season for Leicester? Is it similar to ours? Have you got to be looking at top 10 plus a good run at the Cups?
Yeah, it's just top 10, isn't it? I mean, they have aspirations to get into Europe just like we do. They have aspirations to get into the Europa League consistently and build from there, and they seem to be building very well. So for them, they have to get top 10. That has to be the baseline minimum for them. And then obviously, as every fan in the world wants, just a good run in the Cup and something to celebrate at the end of the season.
Hey, what about yourself, Gonzo? What's a good season for Leicester?
Yeah, I think much the same, really. They've got... I think they just, if I was Leicester, or if that had happened to West Ham and then winning the league, I think I'd still be rejoicing it now. You know, it's never going to happen. Well, not in their history. It's probably never going to happen to anybody else. It was a freak season, and they should take enormous pride in that. They really should. So because it was a freak, and they just avoided relegation, I think, the year before with Pearson, and just to win the title, to win the Premier League, and then to stay in the Premier League and be a sort of established top 10 team, I think it is a wonderful achievement, really.
I think they can be disappointed if they don't finish in top 10. I think you can make arguments about which team outside the top 6 has got the best squad. I actually think I would pick Leicester. If I had to pick a team, I would pick Leicester. You two have said balance. It's also squad depth as well. The left back, well, Chilwell's really good. If he's not there, they've got Christian Fuchs to call on. And Didi is, if anyone tunes into this regularly will know, I think he's one of the best players outside the top 6 as well in the midfield. Pereira's been playing further forward than right back. Gonzo the last couple of games, he's actually been playing as a winger and stuff. But that just shows the depth of the squad that they've got. That I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Arteta to bring in at right back. That just shows how good their defence are. Morgan was missing against Arsenal. They brought in Johnny Evans. Their squad depth's fantastic all over the pitch. They're bringing off against Arsenal, they brought in Albrighton, Okazaki, players who've done it in the Premier League. I watched them against Arsenal, actually, and I thought they were really good. I think 4-1's a false result for that game. Leicester deserved to take the lead, although it was a free-kick goal. They deserved it. And until the last 10 minutes of the first half, Leicester were very much the team on top. But that goal just before halftime really killed them. And then Emery, you have to just admit that they came up against an Arsenal side in good form. They'd won the last 9 games. Emery tired the Leicester defence, brought on Aubameyang. They couldn't cope with him. It was simple as that. But I thought Leicester were good value despite their 4-1 loss. And it's easy to look at their results, but sometimes you look beyond that. But Charlie, we've spoken about some of their players. Who do you consider to be their main threat on Saturday night?
Obviously, Jamie Vardy, just on his day, I still don't think he has the most technique in the world. I think he just puts his laces through it. But to be honest with you, if you put your laces through it 10 times out of 10, at least you're getting it on target. Do you know what I mean? So he's very, very good. I think, again, like I said, I mentioned it before, Iniacho has this thing where he's not consistent this entire season. He hasn't been consistent since he moved there. But when he is good, he is very good. And he's chipping in with assists as well this season, which is adding just to his threat alongside someone like Jamie Vardy. Obviously, Maddison is a very, very good ball player. I think actually someone who I was screaming for, I wanted him really badly in the summer. But you look at the way he's playing and he's just he's proving that 25 mil looks kind of like a snip for him at this point. And so you're looking at those attacking things, and like you say, people like Okazaki who can come on. They've got a good set of very, very dangerous players who can damage us very badly if we let them.
Gonzo, what about yourself? Is anyone you're fearing playing on Saturday?
Yeah, well, like Charlie said, he had, he said he fancied Maddison before he came. A couple of years ago, we did a show and we were talking about right backs, and I said Pereira and another guy called Florenzi were my two choices. And he's when they signed him for 17 million, I had him straight in the fantasy league team. I did the first fantasy show I did a big thing about Pereira before the season had started, and so it's no shock. He is a very, very good player. I'd have loved to have got him. We didn't. And the other one is obviously Maddison, I would have said, but Charlie has. The other one is I think Damari Gray is full of tricks. Real tricky customer, and he's only going to get better as well. Do I dare say that we might be I think if Diop and Balbuena hadn't really come into the form they have, I'd be a little bit worried about, Maguire from set plays or something like that. But if I had to pin on two, yeah, certainly Gray and Pereira.
Yeah, we'll see if Gray's fit. He's missed the last couple of games as well, so I'm not sure he'll be fit. That's why they've been playing Pereira further forward, I think, along with Iheanacho and Maddison is the three behind Jamie Vardy. I was actually going to go for the two defenders. You've mentioned Maguire there. He's proved it with England, but not only is he good in there, it's all very well been fantastic at set pieces, but you've got someone like, I don't want to say Anderson, but let's just take Anderson's corner and delivery inside. If you've got someone taking set pieces like that, it's worthless. There's no point having a really good centre back in the box if you can't get the ball. James Maddison can. He can stick it on a stamp for Harry Maguire. We've seen it time and time again. He was unlucky not to score against Arsenal with a header. And that's one of those. The other threat that I consider for Saturday night is Ben Chilwell. He is turning out to be one of the best left backs in the country, I think. If you were a top six club needing a left back, Leicester is where I'd be going with a checkbook to get him out of there. Going forward, he's fantastic. He really is. And he caused Bellerin problems with his pace on Monday night. We have Zabaleta right back. Now, there's nothing against Zabaleta. We all know he's professional and stuff. But he's now going to have a new partner in front of him, whoever that is. We'll discuss that in a minute. Will that person track back? We don't know. Is that person fast enough to track Bill Chilwell? I don't know. But Chilwell scares me on Saturday, and I do think they're going to have a lot of attacks coming down our right-hand side. But we'll wait and see for that one. Charlie, we've been praising this Leicester massive. You think we're all Leicester City fans here, but we just like to admire a good football team when you get one. But if you could pick one of those players we've mentioned, Charlie, to bring to West Ham in January, you've got an unlimited check there in front of you. Which one would you pick?
I think you've said this before, but Ndidi, man, he's so good. He's such a good defensive midfielder. And given the fact that, I don't know, Carlos Sanchez doesn't exactly seem like a long-term option and could be out for a very long time, I would pick him in an instant. I think him and, say, next to Rice would be just a beautiful, beautiful combination of defensive midfielders who people just are not going to get past.
Gonzo, unlimited budget. You've typed the code in on LMA Manager, L1, R1, L2, R2, whatever the code is. You've got unlimited budget.
R2D2, yeah, I'd type it in. I think he was the guy I alluded to at the start. I didn't know his name, but I said the stop had a guy in the middle, and I think you'd have to. It's just where we are. You'd have to get a midfielder, wouldn't you? So yeah, probably. If not, then Maddison would still fit into our team. He wouldn't do badly, but we do have attacking players.
Indeedy for me as well. Indeedy. On Saturday before the game, we have our new video. It's a little while ago. We played Brighton away on a Friday night. We were watching the build-up on Sky. And Gonzo wasn't. He was there, but me and Charlie were. And all they talked about was upcoming Liverpool Man City game. So we thought, bugger that. We'll do our own build-up show. Theirs might be crap. Ours might be crap. But at least it'll be a bit more biased, our one. We're going to be looking at the Leicester lineup. We're going to be looking at the West Ham lineup. And we'll have a 10-minute discussion live here. So come along at 5:15 on Saturday, 15 minutes before kickoff. We'll have a 10-minute video for you. I'll be joined by someone that's not on the preview tonight to give you a fresh opinion, just in case their opinion differs to the two that you've been listening to tonight. So we'll see you there, hopefully. But anyway, as you all know, unless behind under a rot, Yarmolenko's out for the rest of the season, which leaves a massive hole on the right wing position, and we're not going to fill it with Mark Phillips, a West Ham under-18 coach. But Gonzo, you've got a few options here. You've got the
That's very good. I like it.
You've got
right wing. I get it. Right wing. I like that's good. Yeah.
You've got Diagana, who obviously came on against Spurs. You've got Antonio, who can argue that's where he has played. Perez. And you've got one or two curveballs. But before you say Snodgrass and that, Obiang, we do not have Obiang for Saturday. He is not. It looks like we need Snodgrass to play centre midfield. Unless you make a massive formation change and play Hernandez up front and pull Anderson into number 10 role. But Gonzo, what would you like to see done?
Well, maybe that is the way. Maybe you've got to play a 4-4-2 or something. Maybe you've got to play Arnie just behind. I would say Arnie on the right, because obviously he's played wide, a lot of his career. But are we worried about his fitness? Probably we are. I don't think we're going to out-football this team. So I think maybe we're going to have to go for a bit of strength. So I probably would draft in Hernandez. I probably would have to play 4-4-2. You've got to go with a hand that's dealt you. And then on the right, I'd probably start with Snodgrass and I would bring Diangana on. Snodgrass is industrious. We've seen that. But Snodgrass also got a good delivery. So if we could get an Arnautovic close to Hernandez, Arnautovic is 6'4". Surely he's got to be able to head some balls at some point. So, yeah, probably something like that.
But apart from the one force change, no changes for yourself, Gonzo?
I don't think so. I think it'd be harsh just to dump Cresswell. Cresswell missed pre-season and that hasn't had the luxury of the run that Masuaku's had. I know maybe he didn't cover himself in glory, but I'd give him another game. Listen, possibly you've alluded to the fact that they've got a lot of pace. Maybe you would, be tempted to throw Fredericks in there instead of Zabaleta, but is this the time to throw him in as well? Probably not. So, yeah, I think just the one change there.
And Charlie, what would you be doing in that right wing position if you were Mr. Pellegrini?
I love the fact that he gave Diangana a shout as opposed to Antonio. It would have been very, very, very easy to just look over the bench, see Antonio, and go, right, you're coming on. You played right wing most of the time you were here anyway. And I love the fact he did that. And for me, I think Diangana should keep his place. Although he didn't provide an assist or a goal or anything, I think he played quite well against Tottenham. Was one of those players who didn't look scared to take players on, didn't look scared to just take the ball and go at them. And I think actually when you look at Leicester's back line, although I think individually there is a lot of good things there, I think they are there to be got at. And it's the sort of game where if you play someone like Diangana and he does create something, all of a sudden that sets him up for an incredible run for the rest of the season. And I think it's important that we see what he can do against teams in and around us, because ultimately that's the sort of person we'd be looking to try and buy to fulfill that position anyway. So why not give him a shout?
You're right about Leicester being got at, Charlie. In 9 Premier League games so far, Leicester have conceded the first goal in 6 of them. So they are got at. If you get out the champs early, you can have a go at Leicester City. I think it's a process of elimination. I think you've got to start backwards a little bit here. And I would rule out Antonio purely because he's right-footed. We've been playing Yarmolenko, who's been left-footed. Has it been working? We can argue or not, but while he's been erratic, I think he's looked dangerous. So for that, I think if you bring in a right-foot player, your tactics are changing completely. Although you're only doing one swap, like for like in positions, your tactics change. Instead of cutting in, you're cutting out and stuff. And I don't fancy his chances against Chilwell, for example. I don't fancy it. Diangana against Spurs made 5 tackles. Why is that important? Because he will trap Chilwell. He will get back. He is fast. He is athletic. You've seen his corner against Spurs. It was one of the best corners of the game. We had to wait until the 92nd minute to see it, unfortunately. But he has got that unknown quantity about him. Perez, this is what's frustrating me. Perez should be the obvious option to come in here, left-footed attacking player, but he's not done it yet. But is this his chance? I don't know. I would actually go for a massive curveball here, and I think people are not going to be keen on this. I would play Masuaku there. We know he can take on players. He still has that left-footed thing, and we know he can hit it from shooting outside the box. We know Masuaku has it in his locker. He just doesn't do it because he's left-footed out on the left. It's very difficult to come in and take a shot. Put him out on the right, and let's go for it. That's what I would do. I would go for the curveball, Masuaku. Pellegrini's got to do something. We're all suggesting different things here, but Arnautovic is broken. We all know, we said it on the review, Gonzo, that Arnautovic is broken. Is this just a problem, Gonzo? We've now got to play a half-bit Arnautovic and just hope his knee does not crumble.
Yeah, I mean, it's just typical West Ham. It's just a real worry going along with all the other injuries that we've got. Once again, we find ourselves in a situation where we've got the worst injuries of anyone else in the league, and there's got to be something to it. It's sort of, once is a shame, twice is a coincidence, and 3 times a trend, and it's way over 3 times. So I would, well, if we weren't so reliant on him, you'd have to err on the side of caution. But I don't listen. I mean, people are not going to like what I've got to say here. I don't think there's any way we're winning this game, and if he's as bad as you suggest there, then it might be wise to rest him. I never thought I'd say this either. I think we're really hoping Andy Carroll comes back to give us something else there. It's a tough one, G. I don't know enough about the injury, but it is a worry.
Charlie, where's the goals coming from? I mean, only apart from Yarmolenko and Anatovich, one's out for the season, one's half broken. Only one other player has scored one goal this season for us, and that's Anderson, who is not living up to his price tag. Let's put it like that. So where's the goals coming from, Charlie?
It depends who you put up there, and it depends. Dion Garner could come in and be really effective at cutting inside and driving, but it depends who you put up there. If it is Arnautovic, then he was starting to form a really nice bond with Yarmolenko as he was with Lanzini before. I think for all of Anderson's faults, he does consistently look for quite nice, smart through balls, and they don't pay off a lot of the time. But if, say, Hernandez is playing on the last man, he might be able to turn and get into those spaces better. It really depends, and the fact that we're so built around Arnautovic is a bad thing, given how broken he is, as you say, because if we play someone else, then all of a sudden we have to change our style. Do we know how this is going to play? Do we know how this is going to work out? And it's a very, very difficult situation for us to be in. But at the same time, silver linings, it means they can't prepare for it either. Because if Arnautovic isn't playing, they're going to have no idea who's going to play up front for us. Because let's be honest, we don't even know. So it depends who we choose up front, really.
After another blank against Spurs, it means West Ham now scored 8 goals in 9 games. 6 of them came against Everton, Man United. So if you take that away, we've scored just 2 goals in the other 7 Premier League games. As I said earlier, Anderson is the only player that's not called Yarmolenko or Arnautovic to score for West Ham in the Premier League this season. Gonzo, we don't see, mate, but are you confident we're starting tonight?
No, not at all. Not at all confident, no, sorry.
Well, how do we get something then, Gonzo? Because at the end of the day, if we lose again, you know, we're very much on we're over a quarter of the season through. This is match day 10. This would take it to just over a quarter of the way through the season. 7 points we're on now.
Well, he's got to do something different. And whilst I didn't like your idea of Masuaku on the right wing, I think there's certainly a case to be made for playing him on the left wing. Anderson's got to go into the middle. We've got to try and extract some of this magic that we paid the money for. And obviously his goal came when he was in the middle with the flick goal. It was a nice finish. Charlie makes a good point that he does provide nice little through balls. So place him in the middle. He's not producing a string of crosses, and we're not playing that way anyway. So get him in there. It also would solve the problem where we're missing some midfielders. If you don't have Declan Rice and Noble, you know, just behind him, and then him at the tip of the diamond, maybe in the number 10 position, it might open something up. You know, Hernandez is a good shout. Hernandez is, I don't care what anyone says, Hernandez is a top class finisher. He really is. And for all the news and the rumours about Arnautovic's injury and him being broken, he still did have chances against Tottenham and against Brighton. So, you know, there are going to be times where he can impact the game, but I just think Pellegrini is going to have to react to the squad that he's got at his disposal, and it is not the one that he spent 100 million putting together. And what he really ideally wants to do, may well have to change his formation. He may well have to get players involved, such as Hernandez, who he's not ideally planning on doing. And as I say, forget about Anderson as a winger.
Charlie, what about yourself? Are you confident for this one? How do we get something out of the Foxes?
I wouldn't say I was confident that we're going to win, but I'm confident we're not going to get smashed. I think that Leicester, although they have a lot of good attacking players, like I said, I think they are there to be got at. I think they can be shaky. You obviously said about the beginning of games, and I think that's a through ball. That's a through line through all of their games this season. They have been weak at the beginning, apart from the Arsenal game. I watched that as well, and I thought they're actually quite good out of the block change. But they're there to be got at. Their defence will be different as well. They're not going to have Wes Morgan. They're not going to have their captain in the centre, and that throws them off. You saw them try to do something different before against Arsenal, change the 3 at the back, maybe change it. That's there to be got at. That's there for us. And if we can put them under pressure, which we should be able to with the players, whatever formation you end up choosing, if we put them under pressure, then we can make them crack. And if we get a goal, then all of a sudden it changes the complete dynamics of the game. I'm not confident we're going to smack them 3-0, but I'm confident that we're not going to get smacked 3-0. I think if it does go either way, it will be by a very low scoreline. Yeah,
well, fox hunting's banned in the UK. I think it's going to be banned on Saturday night as well. We just don't have any hunters, if you like. We've got a £40 million one in Anderson, but we failed to see the best of him on Saturday. Harry Winks was running the midfield for Spurs. Our player was having 40 Winks and Anderson, and it's not great to see. But while Gonzo mentioned Hernandez, I actually thought he did well against Spurs. Actually, I've seen a little bit of aggression in him that it's not really attributed to Hernandez. You don't really consider him someone that snaps at the defenders' heels, etc., etc. And he was barging into defenders a foot taller than him on Saturday, and I like that actually. I thought there was a bit of hunger there that we've not seen in Hernandez for a long time. Maybe ever at West Ham, actually, because when he rocked up, it was all a little bit of a slow start, and maybe now he's had this time off, etc., etc. He's no longer the main man at West Ham like he was when he first signed. He was considered to be put up there on the platform compared to everyone else. The West Ham media team probably didn't help by banging out a video of him putting on training bib every day just because he has more followers on Twitter than actually West Ham United do. The media team saw it as an opportunity to grow their own account. And I wouldn't mind seeing Hernandez, actually. If Anatovich is only 60% fit or something, I think we almost need to vest him, because the long term is scary. If he gets injured again, we will literally overnight turn into relegation candidates. Luckily, this season, it looks like there's a few really crap teams in the Premier League. Last season, it was open. It went down to the wire. This season, it's not going to do that. Huddersfield,
Cardiff.
Like Huddersfield and Cardiff are pretty much gone. Then you've got the likes of Fulham and Newcastle lingering there as well. I think two of them are gone, and it's one of the other ones that's going with them. I think we can be a bit fortunate for that, because we're an Anatovich injury away from joining Newcastle and Fulham along that. I agree with Charlie. I don't think we're going to get smashed. I think our defence is solid. I think we look good. We kept Tottenham quiet, who just scored 2 in Holland tonight in the Champions League. We kept that same Spurs team down to 1. There was something else I was going to say, but I forgot now. But anyway, Gonzo, would you like to fire a prediction over first for tonight?
Yeah, I think Leicester are going to win. I think they'll win. I agree with Charlie. I don't think it's going to be 3-0, but yeah, maybe 1 or 2-0. 1-0, let's say 1-0 Leicester.
I remember what I was going to say, and that is Leicester are very strong on their counter-attack. I am worried if Leicester score first, what Pellegrini has done the last couple of games. Against Brighton, we finished the game with about 5 strikers on the pitch. We had Rice in midfield, and everyone else was a striker or a really advanced winger. And I think if you do that against Leicester, they will pick you apart. They will come at you with pace. Madison, Iheanacho, Vardy, they will come flying at you. Brighton didn't have that pace. They don't have the talent that Leicester do either. Spurs, that was a half-patched up Spurs. Let's make no mistake about it. That Spurs on Saturday played in third gear the whole game. There was no Eriksen. There was no Son. Lucas took a bit of a tough challenge from Snodgrass, and that made him quiet a little bit. This Leicester side are pacier than what we played on Saturday, and I do worry. Pellegrini does his 4-1-5 or whatever he's been doing recently. If Leicester score first, I worry for us, and it could easily turn into 3-0. But I'm not going to predict that. I'm going to predict 2-1 Leicester. And Charlie, are you going to go for a clean sweep with Leicester victories, or are you going to turn this into a West Ham bias show and give us something on the game?
No, there's been other shows where everyone else has predicted West Ham win and I've not. So I actually agree with you. I think 2-1. I think if you look at Leicester and you compare them directly to Brighton, imagine how good technically Pascal Gross is on the ball and how good he is assisting and in Maddison, except he also has Vardy and people with pace in. They're an incredible counter-attacking team. Like you say, if they score first, then I think there's no way we get into it. But I'm going to say 2-1 regardless, because I do think they're there to be got at and we should be able to get a goal.
Not good, but it means no pressure on West Ham from us 3 anyway. But if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. Leicester fans will be liking the video anyway. Drop a comment below. Let us what you think. Let us know who you think should replace Yarmolenko. There's lots of options, but there's only one answer for Pellegrini. But let us know what you think it should be. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll be back on Saturday before the game with someone talking about the lineups, find out who Pellegrini replaces him with. We'll be having a little look at the Leicester lineup as well and giving our final thoughts ahead of kickoff. And of course, we'll have a review straight after the game as well. But Gonzo, goodbye, and I shall see you very soon.
You certainly will. Goodbye.
Charlie, it's goodbye.
Bye.
And it's goodbye for me. Catch you on Saturday night.